Hey everybody, let's get started with Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing program to get your books out there to millions of readers. I do want to point out or remind you all that I highly recommend that you set up a cheat sheet with all of your metadata, and there in the lecture notes is a worksheet for you to fill out with all of your cheat sheet. And in the cheat sheet you'll have information like an ISBN number if you choose to use that with your books. You'll have, I keep my word count in there as well, my page count, although this book isn't quite ready to go through print distribution just yet. I keep my versions of my blurbs in my cheat sheet. I've got long ones, I've got shorter ones. I keep the biset categories that I'm going to be using as well, and we'll talk more about those, as well as the keywords that I've chosen for this particular title. And there's other things, there's a lot of other things that I keep in here and then I add as I go. But I highly recommend that you do that so that you have the information handy and you don't have to go looking around for it. It becomes really helpful. Okay, so back to KDP. I hope you have an account. If not, then you need to go to kdp.amazon.com and sign up for one. And most of us probably have an account, and it's likely under our Amazon account where we buy our books. My given name is Nikisha, and that's how I identify myself to Amazon, even though my pen name is Ines and an S for my initials. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And I immediately come to my bookshelf where I have all of my titles and it's ready to accept a new one. But I also want to point out, if you haven't been in KDP before, that you can look at your sales reports in this window as well as going to the community forums where you can speak with other authors. And you also can learn more about the KDP Select program and enroll your books through this button here. Although there is an option to do this under bookshelf and to do it with each individual book, and I'll show you that in just a second. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new title. And the first thing that Amazon asks in under step number 1 of getting all the information that you need for your book is, hey, do you want to enroll this book in KDP Select? KDP Select is Amazon's subscription program. It allows readers to pay a monthly fee and read as many books as they want that are enrolled in the program. And then at the end of each month, all the page numbers are tallied and authors will split the profits based upon the number of pages that a reader has read. There's many pros to this program. There's also some cons to this program, and it's a decision that you're going to have to make for yourself whether or not you want to enroll your books into the program, and that's going to be based on your publishing goals. With this particular title, I'm not enrolling it in KDP Select. I'm going wide with this book. So I'm not going to check off that button to enroll this book in KDP Select. So I'm going to skip over that. And I'm going to come to the first question that it asks me, which is enter my book details. And the name of this book is Moonrise. So I very quickly enter that in there. The next thing it asks me for is a subtitle. The subtitle would appear on the detail page on Amazon along with your book title. This works really well if you have a nonfiction title, but this is a fiction title, and I'm not going to have a subtitle there. I do want to note that if you are using a subtitle with your fiction or nonfiction title, Amazon limits you to just 200 characters with both the title and the subtitle. So you have to make sure that you are being judicious there with how you're going to title everything. If you have a book that is a part of a series, here's a great place to let Amazon know that, and this book is a part of a series. It is a part of the Moonkind series. And it becomes extremely important if your book is a part of a series that the series title is exactly the same across all of your books. I had to learn that the hard way with my Cinder Mama series. In the first book, Pumpkin, I called it Cinder Mama series. In the second book, Rumpled, I called it the Cinder Mama series, and I couldn't figure out why the books weren't showing up together. So make sure that your title is exactly the same across all books in the series. You also have the opportunity here to tell Amazon which number in the series the book is. I don't use this option, and I have my own reasons for not using this option. But if you choose to use this option to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, note that you can only use whole numbers. Amazon and most other platforms no longer allow us to do 1.5 or 0.5 if there's a little novella in between. And because I like to give my readers various entry points into the world, I put the information about the order of the books somewhere else, and I'll show you that when we get to it in another lecture. So next, Amazon is going to ask us about the edition number. So if I had written this book in, say, 2009, and then I had made updates to it now in 2016, this would be a great place where I would explain that information here and put either 2016's edition. But because this is a fiction book, I'm not going to utilize this. I would like to note, though, that I have updated a fiction book in the past, and I didn't want readers who'd already purchased the book to then buy the book again and then get upset with me. So what I did in that instance is I just left everything the same except for the book's content. I uploaded the book's new content over top of the old content, and that way readers were able to just get the updated file that they had already paid for, and I thought that was a better way to do it for me. So next you'll have publisher, and all of this information is optional. If you don't have a publisher, if you're not with a small press or you've not incorporated, then you can leave this information blank, or you could put your name there. I happen to work with an amazing author collective, so I'm going to put that information there. Then you have your book description, which is your blurb. So I'm going to run back to my handy dandy metadata sheet, and I'm going to grab the information for my blurb, which is a lot of information, I know. And I'm going to copy and paste that and put it in here. And I'm going to just do a little bit of HTMLing. And I'm going to provide a cheat sheet in the lecture notes for you if this is something that you're interested in doing. How to add a little bit of HTML so that your words and that specific words in your description can stand out. But I like for my titles to be italic, so the I is the tag for italicizing. And then I close it with the slash, and then I want for the part which says buy my books to be really big and bold, so I'm going to use the B for bold tag there. And oops, almost forgot this little guy in here. I want the title to be italicized, and I'm very happy with that. But again, if that's something that you're interested in, I've provided a lecture for that, some lecture notes for that, because there's an easier way if you don't know HTML to do that. I've got tons of useless information in my head that sometimes actually helps me out. The next thing that we're going to look at is the fun part. That's you as the author. You're going to add your information there. So I am a contributor. I am Ines, and I am the author of this work. But if you want to give props to your editor, or if you have an illustrator or anyone else that's of note, you can put that information in here. And I'll save that. And there I am. Now, I don't worry with English because this is in the English language, but if you are working in a different language, you could indicate that information here. I do have an ISBN for this particular work, so I'm going to enter that information in here. An ISBN number, an international book number, is not required. An international standard book number, forgot the S, is not a requirement on any of the platforms, and it's a personal choice. So you can choose to do it. You can choose to not do it. I've provided a lecture on that to help you to make that decision, also down in the lecture notes. But I'm going to put my ISBN number there. So let's verify the publishing rights. This is not a work that's in the public domain. I bled, sweated, and I teared up writing this book, so I hold all of the necessary publishing rights, and I'm claiming that right there. I don't use this information. I just skipped over categories for just a quick second. I don't use the age range or the grade range either. My books are for adults, but because this is optional and I don't want to put too many exclusions on anything, I just don't check these guys off. I don't see a point to it. Kids aren't going to be interested in reading these books. So let me back up to categories. Now, you have dozens of categories to help readers find your book. I write fiction, and I write a specific kind of fiction. I write romance. So I'm going to scroll through, but you can see whatever you write, you can find it in here. If you write crime, if you write holiday stories, you can find it. But I write romance. And the two BISAC, B-I-S-A-C, categories that I have chosen for myself are paranormal and multicultural. That's what's going on in this particular title, Moonrise. And I want myself to be labeled on that particular part of the virtual shelf so that readers who read romance and who read more specifically multicultural and interracial romance and paranormal romance can find my books. But there's some lecture notes on that to help you guys to make sure you are choosing the best category for your books. And then we have the keywords. This is a conversation, so there's a lecture note. There's some lecture notes on this. In addition to the BISAC, Amazon allows you to really get in there and target who your readers are and how they search. So the way that they do this is they allow you to insert some other keywords in addition to your BISAC, as well as keyword phrases. Just let me give you, there's a lecture note, but because I have your attention, I'm going to show you how I came up with my selections for the keywords that I chose. I'm running over to Amazon.com and I'm going to limit my search to books. Now, Moonrise is all about a paranormal world where there are werewolves and shifters. So a reader coming to Amazon who doesn't knows that they want to read something with shifters, but is like, how am I going to find the shifter books? They will probably come into the search bar and just type in shifter. And what Amazon does, kind of like what Google does, is it starts to anticipate what you're going to say based upon previous searches that the vast majority of people have done. And so if I just start typing in words slowly, like shifter, I'm going to see that there was a lot of people searching for shifter romance because that comes up to the top. So I'm going to write that down as, readers are searching for shifter romance. I should make sure that when they click on shifter romance, that my book is categorized somewhere in there. And I made the decision to use shifter romance because once I come into this search and I see who else is in there, I see, oh, whoever Elena Atkin is, she's got a good number of people reading her books and reviewing them. And then because I'm really nosy, if I were to go in and take a look at one of these books, and it's good to look at one that's similar to yours. Dragons are not similar to mine, but I'm taking you guys a bit on an aside, so I'm going to try and be quicker about this. If I scroll down and I take a look, again, because I'm nosy, at what this author's rank is and how her books are selling, she's doing pretty well, and I know that people in this category are likely doing even better than that if I looked at the person who came up top. Her book is free right now, and even in the free store, look at that rank. She is number 259 in the free store, and in Werewolves and Shifters, where I want to be, she's number 12 in the free store. So going and looking up doing keyword searches that are close to what your book is and what you think readers are going to be looking for, That's how I came up with my keyword searches, and I researched all of these keywords. Amazon allows me to have 7 keywords or keyword phrases, and I've separated them all by commas, and I've just put them all in there. Again, I have a lecture notes down below to help you guys to make this decision for yourself. So here we are now. Amazon is asking, hey, do you want to release your book now, or do you want to make it available for pre-order? And you can, depending upon how far out, you can make your book available right now, and Amazon will take anywhere from half a day to 3 days to put it up in the store, or you can make your book available for pre-order, and you can make a decision there. Amazon makes you, won't allow you to do pre-orders, I think more than 4 days out, if my math is correct on that. I'm just going to go ahead and say, hey, go ahead and release it now. Now we're at upload or create your cover, and I have a beautiful cover over here in Moonrise, and you'll see how ridiculously organized I am here. Here's my cover. Amazon's gonna take a minute to think about all the parameters and specifications in that cover, and it'll take a minute to upload it. And there it is. My cover has uploaded successfully because I have a professional cover designer that understands the guidelines that Amazon sets out. The next thing Amazon is going to ask you about is, do you want to enable DRM rights? Because this is somewhat of a discussion, I put a lecture note down below. Digital rights management will, if you enable it, it helps to protect your books against pirates. Helps. It doesn't completely deter them. If you have children and you try to block them on the television or the computer or the phone, those little whippersnappers figure out a way around it. They do. There's always a way. So I just don't give myself a headache with this. I don't enable the digital rights management. That's a personal decision. Again, read more down in the lecture notes. I just want to show you that it's there and the options that you have. So here I am now ready to upload the content of my book, and it's in publishing platforms. And here's the Mobi file, which Amazon wants. And I'm gonna just open that up. Amazon's gonna take a look through all of my pages really quickly, and it's gonna, not really quickly, it's probably gonna take a minute or two. It's going to look, and it's going to be nosier than I am. It's going to look at all my pages. It's going to make sure that I am formatted correctly, and I format in Scrivener, but it'll accept a Word file, it'll accept a PDF, and it's going to think about it some more. And fantastic, so my upload was successful. And wonderful, the upload was successful, but there are some spelling errors. And this is a paranormal book, so I know what the spelling errors are going to be. I've taken some liberties with some of these words, like Faykind, Grand Cubs, which I thought was really cute, Moonkind. So I'm going to tell Amazon, I'm going to look through this to make sure that my copy edit and proofread was as good as I paid for. And yeah, none of these are anything that I'm going to worry about. I'm very happy with that. So now I've ignored all of those. But if there was a problem, then I would go back to the manuscript, make those changes, excuse me, and then re-upload my book. Step number 7, Amazon allows you to do a preview of your book, and I recommend doing this. So, because in the past, I have mistakenly grabbed the wrong file. And so before I leave the screen, I always preview my book just to make sure there is no drama, that it is the correct file, and that is the correct file. And it looks pretty darn good. So I'm gonna get out of this screen, and I'm gonna be very happy with that. And go back down to the bottom, and I'm gonna click save and continue. and I come to the really fun screen, which is let's price this book so we can make some money. I choose worldwide rights. I don't go in and just say I want to be in certain countries. Hey, if you live in the world, you can have access to my book. So then we come down to step number 9. And you can start to price your book now. So you can choose which royalty you're going to have, and that choice comes in how you're going to price it. If you price your book less than $2.99 or above $9.99, then you're only entitled to the 35% royalty on Amazon. However, if you price anywhere in between that, you can have access to the 70% royalty. I know what I want to price my book, and I would enter that information here, and then Amazon would do a wonderful conversion and give me an approximate on how much that would translate to in all these other countries. But I'm going to take advantage of their pricing support service because I want to see what they say. And if you use the pricing support service, Amazon is going to take a look at books that are similar to yours and see what they're priced at and see how well they do. And isn't that fantastic? $2.99 is exactly what I'm going to price this book as, and Amazon has said, yeah, this is what we think you should price your book at. So I'm going to say yes, I'm going to follow what you say, Amazon, and I'm going to price my book this way. After I price my book that way, I actually go into each country and I make sure that the numbers look good. For example, I'm $2.99 in the States, and it tells me what my royalty is going to be right there. I'm a little bummed out that my delivery cost is 10 cents, but whatever. I put a couple extra graphics in there. And they're going to charge me a little bit more. But you see at the UK, I'm going to uncheck that. You see how it's $2.28, and that probably will look really weird to them. Like a $2.99, £2.99 would probably look more attractive to them. So I'm going to change that information there. And I'm going to go and I'm going to look at other folks. France, I've sold before, so I want to make sure that that looks really nice. I haven't sold in Japan. And I'm not sure what 317 yen look like. I could go in here and change it to 319, but I'm honestly not sure. And I haven't researched that a lot. Oops, it's just screwed me up. So I'm going to leave the yen alone. I have sold in Canada, and I know they like nice 99 numbers. I haven't sold in Mexico, but I'm going to make that a 9 as well. I have sold in Australia, and $4 looks good to me. So all of that looks fantastic. Step number 10, the Kindle Matchbook program deals with print books. It allows a reader to get a better price for your print book if you also bought the audiobook. I don't choose to do that, especially because this book is not yet available in print. I do allow lending for this book, and if I am happy with everything, I can click that little button and I can click Save and Publish, and Amazon will publish that book for me. And it'll take about 12 to 72 hours for my book to become available. So I hope that was helpful to you all. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. If you are dying and you really need help, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'll do the best that I can to help you out of a jam. I'll see you in the next lesson.